Find versus filter, two of the most important methods in JavaScript, and more particularly, this is about arrays. Yeah? So let me present you a problem. So imagine that I got an array of fruits. Let fruits equals apple, and then orange, and then banana. Yeah, something like that. And now I want to check. Let me create a function actually, yes, to encapsulate my logic. So function, do I have an orange? Yeah. So the function has a list of fruits, and it will return something. Or let me rename it to find orange. Yeah, find orange. So now eventually want to do console.log find orange, and that function should tell me whether I got an orange in my list of fruits or not. So let's pay attention to the syntax. The way we can check whether a list has an orange or whatever we are looking for, of course, we need to do we need to type a few things here. So the way it works is we need to do fruits dot find, yeah, because we need to find the fruit, and then look at the syntax, because we already came across this structure on Tuesday when reviewing the JavaScript coding challenge. Now we are passing what we call a callback function. We'll talk about that in the future, but for now, look at the syntax. Return fruit equal orange. So let's try to analyze this coding structure. Fruits.find means, hey, I want to find the fruit. So then, for each fruit in the list, apple, orange, banana, we are going to evaluate whether any of these individual fruits, you see, satisfies the expectation that we set up here. What's the expectation? I'm looking for an orange. So, first of all, let me run it and see if it works. You see, it returns orange. In other words, as soon as your fruit is found, it's returned. What happens if I don't have any orange? What do you think my function will return? Undefined. That's correct, guys. It's undefined. So, and now my question is, if I got apple and banana, look at what I'm doing. Do you remember I briefly played with breakpoints yesterday and it was a big fail, yeah? So this is, I think, the second cohort where we stop using Google Chrome for debugging purposes because it's very unreliable. In the past, we used to do all these things using Google Chrome all the time, but not anymore because it used to fail a lot, and it's failing more and more over time. I remember if I check the first workshop we recorded in 2018, it failed maybe 1 out of 10 times. Yeah, we tried to play with it. Yesterday, the very first time I tried to play something, it didn't work directly. Yeah, so I'm not going to play that game anymore. However, with VS Code, we can thankfully add some breakpoints easily. And now look at what I've done. I've added 3 breakpoints: line number 3, line number 4, and line number 8. So can anyone tell me what's gonna be the execution order? And there will be half a point on the board challenge of the way for whoever gives me the right answer. Vicky? All right, that's Vicky's answer. Who else wants to participate? Maxim? Okay, interesting. Thank you, Maxim. Who else, guys? Max? All right. Who else? Elijah. So you agree with Max and Aaron, essentially. All right, who else? Lauren. So you agree with Elena? All right. Anyone else? Not sure if Rafa, I think you're around. You want to share your thoughts? Not sure if you're trying to speak, mate. Probably you're on mute. All right. So yeah, Rafa, you're on mute. So if you're trying to speak, we cannot hear you, I'm afraid. I think everybody else has participated. All right. So, you know who got the job here? No one. You are all wrong. Ha ha ha. Yeah, that's wrong. That's wrong. I'll do something. I'm quite happy about what you said because you were relatively close, but no one fully answered. If you check historical videos about find versus filter, you'll find weird answers from people saying first 4, then 3, then number 9. There is not even a breakpoint on line number 9, things like that. But this time you were close. So let me actually share the right answer, or what I think is the right answer. It may happen that I say you are wrong and eventually realize I was wrong. So if I'm wrong and you are right, you get 5 times more points than the what we originally promised. So someone will get 5 points. Yeah, cool. So my money here is, first of all, it will stop on line number 8. That's great. That's what I'm quite happy. So you all realize that first of all, the function is not gonna run until we call it. So the first stop here on the jubilee line is on line number 8. Yeah, that's the first step, and then we call the function. Fantastic. So we are here. We start reading the function top to bottom. So the first breakpoint is on line number 3. So far, I think everyone actually, understood what's the next step. And now is where we start with the messy part of the exercise. So line number 3 will run once, just once, because here is where we declared the find function. So line number 3 will run just once. That means that Vicky is out. But then this is where people get confused. So find will loop over the array of elements until the condition is satisfied once. In other words, it will stop once to check if there is an apple. Sorry, if apple is orange. Is apple equal to orange, guys? No problem at all. So that's the first step. Yeah. But now it will iterate again. So it will stop again on line number 4 to check the second element of the list, which is the banana. Is banana equal to orange? No. So that's it. 8, 3, 4, and 4. Let's run it, guys. Let's prove my crazy theory. So let me run in debug mode. You can, guys, if you have breakpoints, you see, guys, VS Code is great for that because, again, in my case, is Command-Shift-Enter. It will stop on any breakpoint you. Let me try to find the shortcut. I think I found it. Yeah, here you go. So you see, next stop is line number 3. By the way, if you hover variables, you see VS Code will spoil the values associated to these variables, right? And then look, that's the interesting part. Line number 4, first stop. Fruit is apple. Is apple equal to orange? No. Run again. Second stop, banana. Is banana equal to orange? No. Give up, right? Yeah, it stops only once on line number 3. Condition is satisfied, then it's over. If the condition is not satisfied, then it will continue until the end of the list. So, what happened if now I put the orange back? Can anyone tell me what the execution order is going to be this time for half a point on the board challenge. So, sorry, I think Max or Aaron, I don't know who was that. Aaron. 8. Second, Aaron. 8-3-4. Like that? He said 2-4. Sorry. What do you think, guys? Do you agree or not? So Maxim, I think Maxim disagree on that, and Vicky disagree as well. So, all right. If you disagree, then tell me. All right. So Maxim, all yours. So Max agrees with Aaron. What? Oh, Elena disagrees. All right. Elena, who is the leader of this week, right, in the board challenge. She's the influencer of the group today. So let's see what Elena believes. Right, Elena. 8. Interesting. That's very interesting. Thank you, Elena. Too late. Sorry. Guys, there is a rule in this game. Once you participate, you cannot change your mind. And the reason is, it happens many times with junior developers that they are wrong. And they are wrong because they speak too much. And they speak too much because they speak too quickly. So I want you to make the exercise of thinking twice or 3 times before you give an answer, right? So, Elijah, you agree with who? 8-3-4. Okay, interesting. Thank you. Interesting. So now we got a new answer from Lauren. So 8-3-4-4-3. Okay. Interesting. Anyone else? No? Alright, so in this occasion, 4 of you were right. And that obviously means Aaron, Max, Vicky, and Elijah are right. And that means there is half a point for Aaron, because he was the first one to give a right answer. So I got a point for... yes. So there is something interesting. Maxim thought that it will stop on line number 8 twice. Why, Maxim, if on the previous example it stopped on line number 8 once, why do you think now we should stop on line number 8 twice? I don't think that's the way it works, I'm afraid, mate. So let's pay attention to the right answer. So the skeleton is the same. We start on line number 8, then we go to line number 3. We're gonna stop only once on line number 3, and that's a message for Lauren. Yeah. So this is where we declare, where we define the structure, and we do that just once, regardless of whether we stop here 1 time or 1 trillion times. It doesn't matter. Line number 3 will always run just once. So then we'll stop on the first iteration. So on the first iteration, fruit is apple. Is apple same as orange? No. We go again to line number 4. Line number 4, on the second iteration, we got an orange. Is orange equal orange? Yes. All right, so we found it. And now we find the controversial part. We got the fight between Elena and Aaron, Max, Vicky, and Elijah. Elena thought that even though we found the orange already, find will iterate again to check the banana. That's not the way find works, Elena. So once find identifies the element we are looking for, give up. Yeah? Stops. If it was what, sorry? All right, yeah, okay. And if I was blonde, I won't be brunette, right? That's fine. We're not talking about filter, guys. Cool. So let's run it, guys. Let's actually evaluate this exercise, right? So you see, line number 8. That's the first step. That's not surprising at all, right? Now line number 3. Don't fall in love with line number 3 because it will never stop there again. Now number 4. Fruit is apple. Is apple equal to orange? No. And then second iteration, orange. Is orange equal to orange? Yes. Now pay attention, guys, because it's never gonna stop on line number 4 or anywhere else. So once I resume the script, you'll get an orange message at the bottom of my screen. Here you go. You see? That's why these people was right. Any questions? And with that, all right, that's interesting. You tell me, Vicky. So first of all, what will this algorithm return? Can anyone figure out? Wait a minute. Who said apple? Was it Lauren? Why apple? That's absolutely correct, Lauren. That's absolutely correct. So find will stop as soon as the condition is satisfied. The first fruit is apple. Is apple different to orange? Yes, it's different, right? Technically speaking, an apple is different to an orange. So it will stop there. So can anyone now tell me what's the execution order? 8. A34? Cool. You are right, guys. You are absolutely right. Let's run it again. So it will stop on line number 8, and then line number 3, and then line number 4. Fruit is apple. Is apple different to orange? Yes. That's it. Give up. Yeah. Guys, no, I don't know. Ignore filter, guys. I don't care about filter. We're not talking about filter, guys. So let's ignore filter. Now, my next question is, what happened if I got orange with big O? What will this algorithm return? Why undefined? So remember, guys, exactly, Aaron got the best answer possible. JavaScript is case sensitive. So the case matters. So orange with capital O is not the same. It's not the same as orange with O written in lower cases. So what's the execution order this time? Brilliant. Elijah is absolutely right, and he gets an extra half a point. Well done, Elijah. He's right. Why? Because we are unable to find where the bloody hell the fruit is, right? So we are just going through all the different elements on the array, and eventually we'll just give up, and it will return undefined. Okay? Any questions? Let's talk about syntax. This is the most probably academic approach to how to write find. However, as we've been briefly discussing, there are different ways we can write that. So this is one option. So this is option A. Let me rewrite that differently. Option B. Option B will be typing return fruits.find fruit equal orange. So both snippets, both algorithms are equivalent, option A and option B. So as we discussed on Tuesday, I think Max asked that question. So the longer version, well, first of all, you need to write more code, yeah, which is not great. The more code you write, the more likely you are to fail. So that's naturally speaking. However, it gives you more power because you can do whatever you want here, right? You can type more commands. On the shorter version, where we return something immediately, you write less, however, you got less control. And then there is a third option, which is return fruits.find fruit Look, that seems very similar, A and C, but let's pay attention to the differences. They are very important. First of all, on option A, we got curly braces, you see? On option C, we don't have curly braces, we have parentheses. On option A, every time you put the curly braces, you need to put a return statement. If you don't put any return statement, that won't work. Yeah? However, if you put parentheses, you don't put a return statement. If you put return statement, that won't work neither. Yeah? So there are some subtle differences. 3 ways of writing the same code. So when to use one, when to use the other? Well, first of all, if what you need to write is very simple, I will go for option B. Yeah, because it's pretty simple. If my condition is more complicated, and for instance, I don't want to check against orange, I want to check against a longer piece of code, something like that, because of whatever reason, I will go to option C. Because then, you see, I don't go that far within that line, so it's easier to read. And if I need to do any preparations, creating maybe a variable, let test equal hello, whatever, then the only option is clearly option A. Any questions? Yeah. Yep. Sorry, Vicky, I don't know what you are talking about. Okay. If you said that there is an exercise on the platform, so please share it on the Slack and we can talk about it, because I'm not actually following, Vicky, what you are telling me. And yeah. Interesting. Interesting. So you want to nest multiple? You want to nest multiple finds? Right. That doesn't make any sense. And the reason is, find works with what? With arrays. In this particular case, in this particular scenario, find will return either a string with the name of the fruit, orange, or undefined. So if we chain multiple find statements, the second one will blow up. Because technically speaking, here, what we are doing is orange, that's what the first find returns, dot find. That doesn't make sense. You see that, Aaron? We'll talk about filter in a minute, and using filter we may do some tricks, yeah, but definitely with find that's not gonna work. Anything else, guys? All right. Let me change the problem a bit. Imagine that rather than having an array of strings, I have an array of objects. So name, apple, price, 1.5, 1.6. Then I got orange, and then I got banana, whatever. Yeah. So can anyone tell me how can I now find the first orange? Fruit.name. That's correct, Lauren. You see? Fruit.name, because now fruit is an object. So we got object, object, object. We got 3 objects. So we'll find the first object that satisfies the condition. What's the condition? The name of the fruit is orange. And now the question is, what will this algorithm return? What this is gonna print at the bottom of my screen? That's interesting. So Lauren suggested this is gonna print name, orange, price, 2.1. Do you agree on that? Classic discussion, right? So Maxim believes it will be, yes, orange. So in this, yeah, Vicky? So Maxim and Vicky think it's orange. So in this particular occasion, who is right? So it is Lauren, because find will return the whole item. The whole item. So if we run it, you see, you got the whole item, the whole object output at the bottom. So how can we display just orange? Can anyone solve the problem? Object dot what? Object dot key. That's so complicated. It's much easier than that, guys. Here, like that. That's correct. That's correct. The previous return statement, that was pointing to the whole object. So if now we do dot name out of that object, it will display the orange. And now I got a question for you. There is 1 point for the first person giving me the right answer. What will now the algorithm return? I have changed the orange with a capital O. So Vicky, everyone, did everyone say undefined? So who? Elena? Okay. Elijah, what do you think, Elijah? All right, so you are in this block. So Elena, you said error. Why error? That's interesting. So what will the find structure return? Just the find structure, the highlighted code. What will that return? Wrong. Wrong. Undefined. We don't have an orange, all written in lowercase. We don't have it. Do you see it? I don't see it. That will return undefined. So what happened if we try to do undefined dot something in JavaScript? What happened? Error. That's correct, guys. So if I run that piece of code, boom, cannot read properly name of undefined. So that's an extra point for Lena. That's important. So how could we deal with that situation? If we got the name, return it. If not, I don't know. Return what? I don't know. So what we can do is we can create a variable I don't know, matching fruit. And then we can do if I got a matching fruit, return what? That's correct, Lauren. Matching fruit.name. Yeah, because I want the name of the fruit. Else, well, I don't know. What happens if we don't have the fruit? I don't know. Maybe we can send a message. Sorry, the no orange available. Yeah, something like that. So if we run that code, you see, sorry, no orange available. However, if we have the element we are looking for, orange, then it will just display the name of the orange. Any questions? Why an error? Because if you have undefined, that throws an error. When find doesn't return anything, it returns undefined. And then we were trying to do undefined.name. That doesn't make sense. That vomits an error. Yeah. All right. So I got another question for you before moving to filter. What if I want to do, and this is actually an exercise in the platform. I want to find the find expensive fruit. I want to find the fruit. I'm sure you came across that exercise on the platform or a very similar one. A fruit which price is above a given threshold, a given price. For instance, 2 quid, whatever that implies. Yeah? First fruit that which price, because you're going to Tesco and you're on a budget, so you want to make sure that your total expenses are below a given amount of money. Yeah. So you want to remove some items from the basket. I want to remove the first fruit, which price is about 2 quid. So you tell me. So find is a method, right? So we call the method. And now here we pass a callback function with an argument, which is the fruit. And then what? Can I call it min price or max price or? All right. Is it should be min or max? I think it should be min, right? Because we're trying to find the fruit. All right. So minimum price. So then what? Yep. Would this work, guys? Why not? Correct. The variable name looks better. That's all right. That's all right. Will this work, guys? What will that return? Technically speaking. That's correct. The whole object, right? The whole object with the orange. Let's run it. That's correct. What is my threshold? My minimum price is 1.5. What will that return? The orange and the apple. Oh, so why both? So Aaron, you are opening a new range of possibilities. So now Aaron suggests that fine. So next time you go to a job interview, yeah, if you don't know the answer, you can say, all right, I don't know the answer, but if you were asking me about something completely different, my answer will be brilliant. All right, so yes, the apple, right? Because the apple is the first element which price is above a given threshold. And what if I got 2.5? What will that return? Orange. It's undefined. Do we have any fruit with a price above this threshold? Not at all. Not at all. Yeah, we are wealthy customers, guys, going to Waitrose and this kind of places, so we can afford all these sort of exotic fruits, right? So, yeah, this is fine. Any questions? Any final questions about find? No. Well, all right. Let's write the long version of the algorithm with a return statement because it's a bit more readable, maybe. I don't know. So what we'll here is we'll stop on the first fruit. The first fruit is the apple. What's the price associated to the apple, Maxim? Correct. Is 1.6 greater than 2.5? No. All right. So we stop on the next fruit. What's the next fruit? The orange. What's the price on the orange, Maxim? Is 2.1 greater than 2.5? No. All right. Next item. Banana. 1.1. 1.1. No. So that's it, right? No. No. We're looking for the first fruit that satisfies this condition. The highlighted condition. That's it. No fruits satisfy that condition. All the fruits are below that condition. Yeah, let's do that. Tell me. Give me what's your favorite fruit, Maxim? Pineapple? Cool. Alright. Fantastic. Yeah, of course. Yeah. No, I can't. Of course I can, Maxim. Yes, look. That will return the pineapple. Why? Because it's the first fruit that satisfies the condition. The first fruit which price 5 is above the minimum, 2.5. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Mm. Because sometimes, so find is useful to check if your collection, your list contains something, and you don't care if it's listed once or it's listed twice. So, for instance, imagine that I want to see if I got toothbrush, and I don't care if I got one unit, one item, or 3 items. I want to see if at least I got one toothbrush, right? So find will do the trick, because find will tell me if there is at least one element satisfying the condition or not. Yeah, of course, as always. Yeah. All right, guys, let's talk about filter, because you are talking about filter from the first minute, right? So filter is gonna be 5 minutes, because filter is literally the same. So all we've learned, everything is the same. The syntax, the different techniques, blah blah, all the same. The only difference is, so find stops once the condition is met and returns the matching element. If no elements are matched, then returns undefined. So that's fine. When checking a filter, goes until the end of the list and returns an array with the matching element, or elements, could be more than one, right? If no elements are matched, then returns what? Wrong. Empty array, Aaron, that's correct. Empty array. Because filter always returns an array. Always. Yeah. So if we got some elements, it will return them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 million. I don't care. But if none of the elements satisfy the condition, then it will return an empty array. So let's play a bit with that idea in mind. So yeah, the same thing. Find expensive fruit. Just literally the example I got on my screen. So can anyone tell me what will be the eventual output of this algorithm? Pineapple and orange. So, alright, so you think it will be an object with the pineapple, something like that? I told you 30 seconds ago that filter always returns an array. So that will return an array of a single element, as you'll see in a second. You see? It's an array with an object. What if the price goes down to 2.0, for instance? How many? What will that return? To what? Orange and pineapple. In which order? Is it first orange and then pineapple, or on the other way around? Why? Yeah, correct. Because on the original array, orange is listed before the pineapple. So that will be respected. Yeah, first the orange and then the pineapple. And what if the price goes up to 6 quid? What will that return? Empty array. That's correct, guys. Empty array. You see? That's the empty array. So let's talk about breakpoints. I got 2.0. Yeah, 2.0. So now I'm adding some breakpoints. Online number. Now breakpoints get a bit crazy. So let me add them again. Actually, I sent the snippet on the Slack. So let me remove some lines for readability purposes. So you see line number 8, 9, and 13. So what's the execution order? 39. What do you think, guys? Right. So Maxim, it's important before giving an answer to check if what you have in your mind matches what someone else said, right? So let's do that. All right. So yes, Lauren is right. So now, because we're using filter, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter if any of the element matches the condition or not. Yeah, it will go from the beginning until below the end of the array. So we'll start on line number 13. Okay, no problem at all. Then 8, and then look, 9, the first fruit, which is the apple. Okay, play again. Next fruit is the... can I hover? Yes, the next fruit is the orange. If I run it again, the next fruit will be the banana. You see? So in the meantime, filter may be filling the basket. Yeah, that's okay. But in reality, you know, it needs to go until the end because it doesn't know if there will be something new, something else at the end of the list. Any questions? No, I got a question for you. So before, I'm not sure if it was Aaron or Max, they asked if we could chain multiple statements. Let's do that now. Can anyone tell me what will that return? If that makes any sense, first of all. It's contradictory. I don't know. Maybe that doesn't make any sense. So what's the eventual? Just the string or the whole object? In the array. Okay. 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 Nice. That's interesting. Before, let me give some points to Max because Max is right. And now let's add some breakpoints. That's actually probably the last bit of this workshop. So look at how many breakpoints. I'm going crazy, guys. So line number 2, 8, 10, 13, and 17. So who wants to participate? Aaron? Yeah, go for it, Aaron. All right. Thank you, Aaron. Who's next? $12. Wait a minute. There is no breakpoint on number 12. Okay. Thank you, Lauren. Who else? Oh, wait. Then you don't agree. Then you want. Interesting. Elena, you wanted to say something? Sorry, I need to zoom it out. I need more space. 17. Yeah. You cannot see the screen? Okay. Oh, sorry, what I'm doing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So Elena and Vicky. Anyone else? Alaya, Maxim? That's it. Okay. 10 times 10. 4 times 10. Like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Cool. Alaya, do you have any bets? Yep. All right. So someone got the job here, and I'm very curious, guys. Why? I'll tell you something. The only person or the only group, the only line that got the answer right was the only who consider line number 2. Why, guys, you all ignored line number 2? That sounds a bit special, right? Because that will be the first part of the find expensive fruit function. So I think Elena and Vicky are right. Why? We stop on 17, you all agree on that, no problem at all. Then because of whatever obscure reason you ignore line number 2, don't really get that. And then we go to line number, actually wait a minute, I said they are right? No, they are not right. Why I said they are right? They missed something. No. They are not right, guys. They are not right. They are very close to be right, but look. So, yeah, the 8, right? 8, you missed it. I didn't notice that. You missed the 8, right? The important thing is, 17, then we call the function top to bottom. So we start on line number 2, and then we go to line number 8. Then filter. How many times is going to stop on line number 10, guys? 4, correct? 4, yeah, because we got 4 items on the array, right? So 10, 10, 10, and 10. And now the thing is, we got another filter mechanism. That's a bit stupid, right? I mean, if I were reviewing that code, I would say, why the hell you did that? But anyway, let's just evaluate, the how correct this script is from technical point of view. So then we have a second filter. How many elements the array has here before we evaluate that the second filter? How many elements? It's 4. No, sorry, it's 2, not 4. Why 2? Because on the first one we filter out half of the elements. So originally we had 4, but suddenly we have removed 2 of them. We only keep the orange and the pineapple, here. So the second filter will iterate through the orange and the pineapple. In other words, it will run 13 just twice. Let's run it. Let's prove the theory. So, first of all, line number 17, fine. You see, guys, line number 2 is there. So then, it moved. VS Code moved my breakpoint. It was everybody. Why is what? Because I added the breakpoint before we return. So the thing is, VS Code moving to line number 9. Don't ask me why. Sometimes VS Code moves things a bit, but that's the same thing, right? So that's one command. It will stop there only once, just once. And now look, it will go to line number 10. In a second, here you go, number 10. First time, apple. Second time, orange. Third time, the banana. And fourth time, the pineapple. Now the question is, can anyone tell me what will be the value of the fruit on line number 13 once it stops there by the first time? What will be the first fruit? That's correct, guys. Look. Boom. It's the orange. Because the first filter has filtered out the apples. It has removed the apple. So we start with the orange. And what will be the second stop on the second filter? The pineapple. That's correct. Yeah. Say it again, Elijah. Yeah, because now what happened on the second filter, we got 2 fruits, 2 candidates, the orange and the pineapple. But within that condition, only the pineapple will survive, because the pineapple is the only one that has satisfied the second condition of being greater than 4. So long story short, actually, let me try to show you the result. Can I display that? Oh, all right. I cannot. If I debug, I cannot see the result. That's a bit weird. Cannot send variables. All right. So let me run it without the debugger to get the result. Here you go. As you said originally. So the result eventually is just an array. Remember, an array with the pineapple. Any questions? No, that's it, guys. Find versus filter, absolutely vital methods when talking about React. So this afternoon we'll actually talk about find and filter again as part of the board review challenge, but we will present some variations. So we will present more examples. So if you don't have any questions, thank you very much, guys, for watching. Let me know if you need any help on the Slack, and we'll see you later. Thank you. Bye bye.